We have an update on the several NXT releases from this past Friday, plus could more talent releases be on the way from WWE? We also have an update on the changed WrestleMania Backlash match and the official main event that was announced on SmackDown on Friday, and the UK Stadium show finally has a name. All this and more in today's WWE news. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestle News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of WWE. So let's start off talking about the releases. Of course, this was the big story coming out of SmackDown on Friday, or prior to SmackDown rather on Friday, was the 10 talents released from WWE's developmental brand. That included Dexter Lumis, Malcom Bivens, Dakota Kai, Haaland, Persia Perota, Raylan Devine, Draco Anthony, Vish Kanya, Mila Melania, and Blair Baldwin. Now, in an update, WWE Talent Relations head John Laurinaitis issued an internal email to the company on Friday afternoon to announce the departures from the company. This is according to a report by Fightful Select. Sean Ross Sapp at it again. He cited budget cuts as the reason for the release. How many times have we heard that one? But this is what the email said, quote, "Due to budgetary cuts and with immediate effect as of today, we have come to the terms to the release of the following," and then listed all of the names. Now, the NXT talents released are under 30-day non-compete clauses. They will officially become free agents from WWE on Sunday, May 29. Now, one NXT official reportedly expressed frustration on Friday over how several angles, acts, and storylines were impacted with little to no notice or preparation before the releases were handed down. Now, this, to me, and I think to most people, seems like a reference to how Haaland was involved in the main storyline on WWE NXT television between Joe Gacy and NXT champion Bron Breakker, but he was pulled randomly from the segments earlier on in the month. Now, the reason behind Haaland, Parker Boudreaux's release may be the biggest shocker from the budget cuts. Again, we'll get into some of the other names. The more maybe recognizable names aren't maybe as shocking for various reasons, but the Haaland one was surprising because he was signed just last year with a strong buzz, right? Maybe the buzz that he believed himself, if you look at some of his social media activity. But he was highlighted as the next big thing. He was highlighted as by Paul Heyman as Brock Lesnar 2.0 in NXT 2.0. And the reason why they highlighted him is because he looked like Brock Lesnar. That was it. It wasn't really anything to do with background, just he had a football background and all that kind of stuff. But realistically, it was because he looked like Brock Lesnar. So they said, he's going to be the next Brock Lesnar. There isn't going to be a next Brock Lesnar. People have to realize that. There is only one Brock Lesnar. He is a freak. You know, he is an animal. He is a one-off. With everything that he's been able to do and achieve and the way he looks, everything. Brock Lesnar is just a one-off. He is a once-in-a-lifetime athlete. There is not going to be a next Brock Lesnar, nor should there be a next Brock Lesnar. And to be honest, the moment that anyone gets painted as the next whoever it may be, it's done for them, okay? I think we really need to stop doing that. But nevertheless, he was signed last year, Haaland. Strong buzz compared to a young Brock Lesnar by many. But word going around is that the NXT coaches and officials felt like Haaland had not progressed in the ring quite enough for their liking. So once again, that's why you don't compare them to a young whoever, because like he can look like Brock, but he's not going to work like Brock. You know, in the matches we saw, he wasn't picking up nearly as close as Brock Lesnar did. Now, regarding Malcom Bivens' departure, which a lot of people were frustrated with on social media because as a manager, incredibly talented, entertaining, can talk and cut a promo, people were saying, why has he been released by WWE? And this is part of the releases that I do think we need to maybe look at, shall we say, because regarding Bivens' departure, it's kind of similar to Dakota Kai's departure, which again, a lot of people were upset about. It was noted previously how he made it clear to WWE that he did not plan on re-signing with the company. He was not going to sign a new contract. Now, WWE reportedly pushed him to re-sign last year, which led to a short extension, and they asked him to re-sign once again this past February, but he reportedly made it clear, I don't want to re-sign. Now, word now is that Bivens was actually offered a new contract in February, but he turned it down and told WWE, I'm not going to be staying. It was also noted that there had been a significant push within the WWE digital department to feature Bivens in more content because, again, his social media game is incredibly strong. And on social media, in that digital world, which WWE does care about quite a lot, as they should, he's very popular. And Dakota Kai, it's a similar kind of story. She was said to have seen her release coming. She reportedly indicated to WWE, like Malcom Bivens, that she was not planning on renewing her contract. So I think with those ones, again, we get the upset people on social media of, I can't believe they released Malcom Bivens. I can't believe they released Dakota Kai. Well, they weren't going to stay, they were going to leave. So WWE's kind of gone to a situation there. And it's, look, if you compare it to AEW, when they're actually paying people to the end of their deals, maybe a little bit different. And I would, again, I know people say there's no difference with what AEW and WWE does. There is. There massively is. There were some talents that got released on Friday that just bought houses in Florida and relocated to Florida, then to be told, actually, you're fired. That's a little bit different to being like, we're not going to renew your contract, but you signed with us for 3 years, so we're going to pay you for 3 years. That's slightly different, in my opinion. But when people are getting upset about Malcom Bivens and Dakota Kai, they wanted to leave anyway. So I don't really see the issue of that one. People like Dexter Lumis, I wasn't shocked, honestly, because people like him at this point stood out like a sore thumb on that brand, because we know the talent profile. We know the profile that they're looking for that brand. They're looking for young. They're looking for young, inexperienced from a sporting background or an athletic background. And Dexter Lumis was a hangover of the old NXT, and they're going in that direction. Whether we like it or not, they're going in that direction. And I think they've also realized, look, actually, Triple H said it the other day, and people were saying, oh, he's just towing the company line, and maybe he was, but it's true to a point that the ratings are fine. The ratings are nearly what they were when NXT was this third brand with all of these indie talents that we're maybe probably paying more for. So they're probably looking at it going, oh, it was all right. It worked out in the end. So I wasn't shocked. I wasn't shocked. And people like Dexter Lumis and Dakota Kai, they'll be fine. Malcom Bivens, for me, should be the guy. He should be the guy that manages Jade Cargill in AEW. I just think that's such an easy thing for AEW to do. And, of course, when they do arrive, some of them, or all of them, in AEW, I'm sure people will get very unhappy. Like, oh, you're just getting WWE's cast-offs again, because that's how it works. That's the cycle that we're living in right now. But more releases could be happening soon, according to Dave Meltzer on the latest edition of Wrestling Observer Radio. Meltzer revealed that there are people within WWE who think the 10 NXT wrestlers who were released on Friday won't be the only ones. Meltzer noted that he heard, quote, rumblings about future releases. Take it with a pinch of salt when it comes to Dave Meltzer, because his record when it comes to WWE nowadays is not particularly strong. I would think he's probably making a bit of a leap there, whereby this is the time of year that people get released from WWE, right? It's always after WrestleMania, just before the Q2 earnings call or whatever. That's when people get released. And now, granted, last year the releases begun after WrestleMania and just continued for the rest of the year. And maybe, myself included, I thought, well, maybe they won't be like that this year because there was just so many that were released last year, but maybe they will still go in that direction of having people that are a little bit released, a refreshing of the roster. So we'll have to wait and see with that one. But with Meltzer saying, oh, there could be more to come, well, of course there could. It's WWE. I can tell you that, and I haven't spoken to anyone in that company. Now, let's talk about WrestleMania Backlash. Of course, that is the next pay-per-view, or excuse me, premium live event presentation by WWE. Now, for weeks, we had been told we were going to get a Tag Team Championship unification match coming off of WrestleMania's WWE and Universal Championship unification match. We were going to get a Tag Team title unification match. Oh, no, we're not. Don't be so silly. Because the inaugural undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions will not be crowned at WrestleMania Backlash after all. WWE previously announced SmackDown Tag Team Champions The Usos versus Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro in a winner-take-all title unification match for WrestleMania Backlash. However, an angle on SmackDown on Friday led to WWE changing the match to RK Bro and Drew McIntyre versus The Usos and undisputed Universal Champion Roman Reigns. It will now be a non-title match. What needs to be said? It just like what's premium about this? That's the thing, isn't it? What is premium about this? This is a premium live event. If I had a ticket to WrestleMania Backlash, I'd be pissed because I thought I was going to be watching history. This is history in the making. Undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions being crowned. WWE taking the tag team division seriously finally. Oh, no. You're going to get 6-man instead. Why? Why? Like, it's a big match, I guess, but it's no different to a match that they'll probably do on TV several times as well. It's a TV main event, this one. That's what it is. I'm sure the match will be good. I'm sure it will get time. I'm sure it'll be a great match. Every single worker in this match is great, but there's nothing that really screams premium live event about this one, is there? There isn't going to be a world title match on the show, and previously it would be a case of there's only going to be one world title match on the show because Brock's got the bout or something like that. There isn't going to be any. There isn't even going to be a Universal title match or a WWE title match. There's going to be no title match on this show. Not even a tag team title match. And it's just like, come on, really? It's such a TV live event. And also as well, for weeks. So the angle that you're going with here is we're going to unify the tag team titles, but actually we're not. But we'll tease it for like 4 weeks. We'll tease it for like 4 weeks that we're going to do it and we won't do it. Now, obviously, it might be a situation whereby they've gone, actually, you know what? We are still going to unify the tag titles. I think the next pay-per-view after this is Money in the Bank, which is a stadium show. We need to go all out for that stadium show. Maybe that's what they do. Maybe they're going for that direction. Let's save that for a bigger show. Maybe. But a lot of people were pretty pissed, and I don't blame them, because that's just lying. If they always knew, this is the key here, if they didn't always know they were going to go in this direction, that's fine. Plans do change, and maybe they thought, actually, what are we doing here? Maybe we should save it for a later date. If they always knew they were going to go in this direction, oh, the main event's always going to be a 6-man tag, which you kind of feel that might have been the case, maybe, because they didn't announce a Roman Reigns opponent, but it does feel like initially their plans were, and I'm sure we'll find this out in the next couple of days because WWE's got more leaks of the Titanic at this point, but it does kind of feel like the original plan was to have this unification tag team match and also have Reigns versus Nakamura, because that's what the post-WrestleMania edition of SmackDown basically told us, and that's not what they've gone with. They've obviously changed their mind. Why? I don't know, because WWE and Vince McMahon change their mind all the time. That's why, probably. But, yeah, it doesn't scream, oh, must watch this one, does it? Finally, we have a name for the UK Stadium show. WWE has announced the name and the tickets on sale date for the big premium live event to be held in Cardiff, Wales later this summer. WWE Clash at the Castle will take place on Saturday, September 3rd from the Principality Stadium in Cardiff, Wales. Tickets for Clash at the Castle will go on sale Friday, May 20th. A pre-sale will begin on May 18. It would appear, and I might be wrong, but it would appear, considering what's going on with Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns, that this will be the main event for this show. But I'm not sure, because, I mean, it's September, and they're kind of feuding now. So, you know, May, June, July, August, September, 5 months away. I don't know. It doesn't feel like it, unless they're going in a completely different direction where it's going to be Reigns versus, I know, Tyson Fury. How'd you do that one? Because Fury ain't doing the job. He's undefeated in boxing, let alone in pro wrestling. So, interesting, nevertheless, and it will be a sellout. It doesn't matter what the card is. That's how crazy the demand is for tickets to a stadium show over here in the UK. It doesn't matter what the card is. They could put on the worst show possible. They will still sell out that entire stadium. They will get like 70, 80,000 people in there. And it doesn't matter what they put on, because we just love it. We love it so much. But anyway, guys, let me know your thoughts on today's WWE news stories. Be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner. And I'll speak to you again very, very soon.
Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.